As we mentioned in the previous lecture, today we'll talk about the Spring Festival Eve, that what people eat, what people do in the Spring Festival Eve, and also we'll talk about what people do after the Spring Festival, the first and the second days. So let's see what comes next. The first one is the Chinese New Year foods. And in the following festivals, you will also find that actually Chinese people, when we celebrate festivals, we like to have different food, or we like to have a lot of foods to celebrate the festivals. So if you want to know Chinese people, you need to taste Chinese food. So as you can see, this is a family gathering. They gather together to have a New Year feast. And in southern China, we eat 年糕, and in northern China, people eat 饺子. And we'll have fish. Yeah, I will explain all these things in the following slides. Let's see them in details. So first, the 年糕. 年糕, why would we make 年糕? Because 年 means year, 糕 it's cake. But 糕 has the similar meaning as higher. So 年糕, if you eat 年糕 or you make 年糕, that is to imply that the year after you will have a very prosperous year. And now let's see the main ingredients of 年糕. We make them out of the sticky rice, sugar, chestnuts, Chinese date, and the lotus leaves, as you can see here. Yeah, I assure you, you can have a try. It's very sweet and delicious. Now let's see the Chinese dumplings. Why would we make the Chinese dumplings? Because Chinese dumplings, 饺子, first it looks like a silver ingots. So the legend has that the more dumplings you eat during the New Year celebration, the more money you can make in the New Year. And also I know for some families, when they prepare or make 饺子, they will put some coins or sugars inside the 饺子, but not in every 饺子. For example, they will put one coin in one 饺子or one dumpling and put one sugar in another dumpling. So if someone who is lucky enough to eat the one with the coin, that is implying that this person is going to have a wealthy year. And if someone who is lucky enough to eat the 饺子 with the sugar, that is to say, he will have a very beloved new year. And now let's see the preparation method. If you want to make 饺子 by yourself, you can see first we mix the dough, and then we mix the dough in the wrappers by a rolling pin. We fill the wrappers with pork, beef, vegetable, fish, or anything else that can be used as stuffings. So that's the 饺子 part. Now what else? We have a fish. Yeah, as you can see, this is a picture of the fried fish. Because fish is the formal form of 鱼, which means savings. So if we have a fish for the Spring Festival feast, that is implying that for next year we have more money than we need. We have more things than we need. So very prosperous, right? And also we have the spring roll 春卷. So in 春卷 we'll have different fillings. For example, in northern China, people might put a sweet bean paste, but in southern China, people might put pork and vegetable or some other things. So as you can see, just now I mentioned the northern China and the southern part of China sometimes because China is so big. So the eating habits in the northern part of China and the southern part of China are different. And remember this point because in the future when we talk about other festivals, we also need to come to the differences between the northern China and southern China. And then we have the watching CCTV New Year Gala. That's also for the, which we say 守岁. So this Spring Festival Gala or the New Year Gala is shown on the eve of Chinese New Year on its flagship CCTV1. The gala has the largest audience of any entertainment show in the world and is recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's most watched television program. The changes of the stage and the people's clothes can actually show the change of China over the years. As you can see on the picture here, This is a picture of the Spring Festival Gala on the year 1983. And this is a picture of the Spring Festival Gala in the year 2018. So you can see the changes in their clothes and the organization of the settings of the stages. And if you watch the programs, you can also see the changes of the content. And the Spring Festival Gala has become a ritual for many Chinese families, including overseas Chinese, to tune in to the show on Chinese New Year's Eve. Many Chunwan performers have emerged as household names in China solely as a result of their recurring appearances on the program. And actually, the original purpose of having the Spring Festival Gala is because of this custom, 守岁, because it's believed that on the Spring Festival, we don't go to bed. We'll wait and welcome the New Year. So people think that in that case, besides talking or eating food, why not having a program for people to watch and discuss and waiting for the New Year? Then that's the origin of Spring Festival Gala. So I hope this year you can also join us to watch the Spring Festival Gala, 春晚. And just now, I also mentioned the red pocket money online, 红包. And so, for example, this is a picture of Alipay. We say Alipay actually creates 5fu before the Spring Festival. If you use your cell phone to scan the fu, any fu character you see, like on the street, on the house, on the bag, then you will get 1 fu. And if you are able to collect the 5 fu, the 5 fu has different meanings. We have the powerful fu, harmony fu, friendship fu, patriotic fu, dedication fu. And if you get this one, and after the New Year Gala, and Alipay will distribute the red pocket money to those people who is successful collecting the 5 fu. You can also try this year. I hope you can get some small money. This year, I collected the 5 fu successfully, and I get, I think, 2 yuan RMB. I heard that some people get more than 20 yuan RMB. And then we have the waiting for the first bell ringing of Chinese New Year. So the first rising bell is a symbol of Chinese New Year. Chinese people like to go to large squares where there are huge bells set up on New Year's Eve. As the New Year approaches, they count down and celebrate together. People believe that the ringing of the bell can drive all the bad luck away and bring fortune to them. In recent years, some people have begun going to mountain temples to wait for the first ringing of a bell. So that's, you can see in the pictures here. And besides that, we will also have some Chinese New Year celebration. For example, this is the image of the Nian monster. People will light the firecrackers during the Spring Festival Eve because there's a legend that the Nian monster might come to town or come to the village to eat people. That's the ancient legend. So people found that if they light the firecrackers, then the Nian monster would run away. So this become a custom for people to celebrate the Spring Festival. That is, people will light the firecrackers. And also one more thing, people will have like the lion dance. And one more important thing. On this day, most of Chinese people would prefer to wear red clothes, because red is one of Chinese people's favorite color, and the red is the symbol of good luck. Now, after the preparation and the celebration of the Spring Festival Eve, let's see what people do on the first day and the second day of the New Year. On the first day of the New Year, first people will get up very early. They will light the firecrackers and the New Year's visit to husband's family and the lucky money to the children. And in my hometown, my parents told me that if we light the firecrackers, we don't clean the ground. We need to keep them there because they are the symbol of money. And the second day, we worship to the god of wealth, and that's an occasion for the wife to bring the family to visit her mother and the father. So that's all for the Spring Festival part. I hope you enjoy my lecture, and I'm looking forward to see you in next lecture. In next lecture, we'll talk about another important festival in the lunar January. That is the Lantern Festival. So looking forward to see you. Goodbye. See you next time.